I feel good. No. I knew that I would now. Haha. I know that I'm going to feel good because I'm fit and I'm strong. I've got a stack of energy. I can perform at my best. I love what I see in the mirror. I love the way my body feels to touch, and I'm getting the results that I want from my eating and exercise plan. If you can't say that about whatever you're doing to get healthy, fit and strong, it obviously is dodgy. It's not working. It could be a waste of time. You might be following what somebody else told you to do, but unless you've got those 4 things going for you, then maybe some changes need to be made. So the only question to ask is, do I need to exercise? Do I need to move? That's the only really important question. The answer is yes. If you want to get old really quickly, if you want to get sick, pick up germs, bugs, viruses and diseases and not be able to get rid of them quickly. If you don't want great hair, skin and nails, if you want to have a slow metabolism, if you want to have an immune system that's all busted and broken, if you don't want to be in control of your hormones, if you don't want your brain to work effectively, if you want to have a really slow metabolism, I think I said that already, but that's what happens if you don't move. So do you need to move? Yes. But now comes the controversial, contradicting, opinionated stuff about what do I need to do? And there's only really 2 things that you need to do. You've got to get puffed to get fit, and you've got to overload your muscles and bones to be strong. Isn't that easy? Yay! Now comes again the controversial information. What's the best way to get fit? What's the best way to get strong? And how many should I do? What are the best exercises? How long should I do them for? How often? And let's keep it really simple, because the human body, although a complicated, amazing, effective, efficient machine, it's not that complicated. You've got to get fit and you've got to get strong, which means you've got to get puffed and you've got to overload your muscles and bones. I keep saying that because it's so simple. So how to get puffed is, what do you like to do or what do you hate the least to make sure that your heart and lungs are going at their 100% maximum effort. And that doesn't mean walking, and that doesn't mean doing something that's easy. You have to overload them for them to get fitter. So you've got to get puffed. So whether you skip or box or run or jump or dance or do martial arts or a sport, as long as you're getting puffed on a regular basis, you will get fit. Really puffed. Now, I prefer the phosphate system, which is the fight and flight 10-second get away from the wild animal system, because there's no lactic acid there. If you work in the lactate system, which is the next one that goes from past 10 seconds to 2 minutes, you'll get a burning sensation in your muscles, and for some people, they feel sick. I don't like to work in the lactate system, and I don't do sport that requires me to work in the lactate system. So I like to do everything at 100% effort, which means everything I do when it comes to moving is only 10 seconds of intense activity. Get puffed for 10 seconds, lift heavy for 10 seconds. That means you can then work aerobically. You can run long distance, you can swim long distance, you can climb, you can hike, you can bike, and do all the things that you want to do in the aerobic system because you are really fit. So that's my only question. What are you going to do to get puffed for 10 seconds? Get your breath back, go again if you want to, but ultimately how long do I exercise for is determined by how much time you've got in your lifestyle. So if somebody's telling you to exercise for an hour but you haven't got an hour, that's just silliness. If you've got an hour, why would you pace yourself through an hour? Why not get puffed, recover, get puffed, recover, get puffed, recover, so that you're getting fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter. So do I need to get puffed? Yes. For how long? How long have you got? And 10 seconds is the only energy system you can use to go to 100% effort. So that's really easy. Get puffed for 10 seconds doing something in a time frame that suits you. So if you've got 5 minutes, get puffed, get your breath back, get puffed, recover, get puffed, get your breath back, and do that for the time frame that you've got. How often should you exercise is a very simple answer. How often do you want to feel fantastic? If you do something 3 times a week, you'll feel great 3 times a week. If you do something 5 times a week, you'll feel great 5 times a week. Me, I like to get puffed at least 4 or 5 times an hour, because it's only 10 seconds, because I want to feel good all the time. And that's that argument, Rowie, you can't be happy all the time. Well, the happy neurotransmitters in your brain are determined by how often you get puffed. So I like to get puffed at least 4 times an hour so that I feel good all the time. Now that's a personal choice. But when you get puffed, you change your brain chemistry. So not only does your body get fit, but your brain gets happy. Pretty awesome. So get puffed for 10 seconds. Pick something that you love to do or something that you hate the least, but it's only 10 seconds, so it doesn't matter. How long should you exercise for? How long have you got? If you've got 5 minutes, do 5. You've got 7, 27, 107, as long as you're puffing, recovering. Easy. The next one is, how do I get strong? Because you can't get puffed at 100% effort if you're not really strong. Now, there's a whole heap of complication about sets and reps and exercises and how often. Let's keep it really simple. If you overload every single muscle, ligament, tendon, bone in your body, they will all get strong. The human body doesn't work in separate pieces. You don't use your arm and not your leg, use your leg and not your back, use your back and not your abs. They all work together. So pick exercises where everything's working. Use as many muscles as possible at the same time. And the number one rule, of course, is if you get injured, you can't do anything. So your exercise has got to be safe. So if you're doing exercises that put shearing forces across your joints, the joints are really strong. Your body can be really strong if you have compression forces and traction forces, less likely to get injured. If you do rotational at momentum and speed shearing forces, you're going to get injured. But the beautiful thing is when you pick big exercises, you get big results. When you pick big exercises, that's how the human body moves. That's how it works all together. And then your body's not designed to put shearing forces across your joints. Your body's designed to put compression forces and traction forces through your joint. So if you pick something up off the ground that's heavy and you pick it up close to your body so it's safe and you put it back down again, you'll be using all the muscles in your body. If you do it in a 10-second time frame, it's going to be a heavy weight, which it's got to be because you've got to overload your muscles and bones. So people think, I'm an old lady who's really fit and strong. I'm not into long exercise programs and I'm certainly not into wasting my time. How about you? So when I come to the gym or when I go outside to lift something heavy, because I would much prefer to lift a log or a rock, I don't care what the weight says. I know that if I can pick something up off the ground and I can only pick it up and put it back down again 7 or 8 times in 10 seconds, I've got a really good weight. So I don't need to measure, is that 30 kilos or 40 kilos or 100 kilos. If I can lift something up off the ground, put it back down again and do 6, 7 or 8 of those in a 10-second period, I've got a really good weight. I'm overloading. And you keep going till you can't do any more. People say, how many should I do? How the hell should I know? How many can you do in 10 seconds that by the time you get to 10 seconds, you can't do any more? So big exercises for big results, safe exercises so you don't get injured. Do as many as you can in a 10-second period, so using your phosphate system. And the phosphate system really important, not just because that's the 100% effort system, but that's also the fast twitch muscle fibers. If you go for a very long time, you're going to get into an endurance program, great, but slow twitch muscle fibers, you use them all day long. The reason we get old is because our muscles waste away, but the muscles that waste away, the fast twitch muscle fibers, the ones that we use for sprinting, boxing, jumping, climbing, and doing things at a high intense effort for 10 seconds. And if you don't do high intense effort for 10 seconds, those fast twitch muscle fibers will waste away. So your exercise program is 1, 2, maybe 3 exercises at the most. So I come in here and I will do something to push with my upper body, something to pull with my upper body, and pick an exercise to pick something up off the ground. But if I'm in a hurry, I drop the first 2 and just pick something heavy up off the ground because I'm using my arms to do that. I'm using my back to do that. I'm using my abdominals to do that. If I pick up something very heavy off the ground, keep it close to my body so it's safe and put it back down again, I'm going to get strong. Every single muscle, ligament, tendon, bone in my body. My immune system will be strong because that lives inside my bones. I'll have good posture. I'll have a healthy head. I'll have a fast metabolism. I'll be lean, healthy, fit and strong for the rest of my life. That's how uncomplicated it is. So why do we make it so hard? Now here's the thing. You can do whatever you want. Of course you can. And people will tell you how many reps, how many sets, how many days a week, best exercises, blah, 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 blah. It seems there's a lot of blah out there. But if you stick to the basics, or if you don't want to waste your time, or if you want your exercise to be safe, or if you want those 4 things that are most important, stack of energy, perform at your best, look good, feel good to touch, and get the results that you want, why complicate it? Get puffed, lift heavy, do it in the phosphate system, so that it's short and fast and you've got no excuse to do it. Because the number one excuse that humans use is that don't exercise, I haven't got any time. Well, 10 seconds is a very short period of time, and that's where you get the fittest and that's where you get the strongest. So if you want a body that's healthy, fit and strong, lean, full of energy, you perform at your best, you've got a healthy head and a healthy body, then get puffed, lift heavy and live your life to the max. So you can sing like I do, super duper doo,